Hi everybody, Hannah here. Welcome back to my channel for this second instalment in the postpartum body acceptance series. And in today's video, I am going to be talking about how my body has changed thanks to pregnancy and giving birth. If you are new here, a bit of background. My name is Hannah. I am a stay-at-home mum to 4 girls, Adi, who is nearly 8, Elena, who has just turned 3, and Aria and Alyssa are my twin identical girls, and they are 1 year old. This video is talking about how my body has changed since pregnancy, and you might have to bear with me a bit with this video because I've been racking my brain, and there are some obvious ways that my body has changed because of pregnancy, but I've been trying to think if there are some more subtle ways as well that my body has changed because of pregnancy, and that is where I'm stumping myself. But obviously that's going to be it because they're subtle ways, so I'm probably not going to notice them as obviously. But I'm going to start from the top of me and work my way down. One thing that has been constant since pregnancy for me has been hair loss. Now, don't get me wrong, my hair has always been my hair. I don't think it's changed much from being pregnant and not being pregnant. Now, it does get a bit fuller when I'm pregnant, and it certainly looks a lot thicker sometimes. However, there hasn't been a time where I can't remember brushing my hair and parts of it not falling out, or washing my hair in the shower, running my hands through my hair like that, and then, as if to prove my point, I get a few strands of hair. Life for me has always been like that with my hair, but it has been 8 years since I was pregnant with Adriana, and I'm going to admit, my memory has not always been brilliant. If it's not a major life incident, then it's not really something that I'll remember. So trying to do this video has actually been, at least for me, it's definitely made me think, which in a sense has also been doing me the world of good in regards to my body. So yes, I have definitely had the hair loss and things, and I'm going to quickly put my hair up so you can see the difference. I had it down just for the beginning of this video, but there is all the mum hairs that are around my head that I have no idea what to do with them. I honestly don't. That's why I pretty much just nearly always put my hair up in a ponytail, put water over my hair to flatten it, and then I just leave my hair alone. But yes, I digress. Next is my skin. My skin is definitely something that I have noticed that has changed a lot with pregnancy. People always say in pregnancy that people sometimes say in pregnancy that you'll get this glow, and that is perfectly fine, and that is brilliant. However, some people then get a glow after their babies are born, but also and what happened to my skin after my pregnancy with any of my girls, and I couldn't even tell you when this properly kicked in for my skin, but it has gradually just been getting oilier, and whiteheads and spots have definitely been something that I have struggled with the more pregnancies I've had. I deliberately didn't put makeup on for this video so that I could show you, but all up here, around up here, and on my chin is where I am terrible for breaking out. Now, I get little ones across my nose and this area, but they are just like the little ones where you can tell you've got dirt in your pores, not an actual spot. And unfortunately, all of this where it's darker red is my own maldoing, because I can't stand if I put my hands along my skin and I feel something there. I'm just going to have to pick it off to make it so that my skin's smooth, which is exactly what I do with my face. And spots have been terrible for it, because I'll go along, I'll realise that my skin's not how I'd like it to be, and I will pop my spots. and I will scratch at the skin if I've got some dry skin, because dry skin is another thing that I've noticed more for doing this video, that my skin has just become so dry as well, which I do think is more since having my twins than either of my other pregnancies. The next one is a big one in regards to how my body has changed, and that is I got stretch marks and how my stomach area has changed. And in all truth, for this, it is just going to be easier to quickly show you what I mean in regards to my stomach. So this is my post-baby stomach from the front, and it is saggy, and I have the mum bit here at the bottom. I know that there is a partial name for it, and I think Sam was saying about how that hers is a C-section belt, but I've never had a C-section at all, and yet I think that is going to be the hardest part to get rid of. But for me, my stomach is, yeah, definitely one of the places where my issues can come from. But for me, it isn't in regards to my weight that my stomach has had these fluctuating issues. For me personally, it has been how much my stomach had to stretch in regards to growing my children, and specifically growing my twins, as they were my last full pregnancy. So even though I have managed to lose some weight, I have managed to slim down a little bit, my skin is the thing that is going to be the most work for me, and I'm going to have to try and find ways of being able to tone it, and to, in all truth, I don't even know what else, but my skin around my stomach is definitely something that I know. We all know that our bellies are going to change. We know they're going to get bigger, and we know that they're going to get smaller. If we've got friends around us that have had kids, then they will probably say, oh, but it won't be like it was before, and things like this. But there might be that part of us that goes, you never know, I could be that person, because there are people that do snap back. After having Adriana, my body pretty much did snap back. As I said in my last video, I thought I wasn't getting stretch marks, because I didn't, from where I could see the top half of my belly above my belly button, I didn't have a single stretch mark for my entirety of my pregnancy with Adriana. However, when she was born, and I could then see the full scope better of my stomach, I then saw a lot of stretch marks underneath my stomach. But I didn't really mind at that point, because I still had the body shape that I was used to. I didn't have curves before I was pregnant with Adriana, and after I still didn't. I pretty much just looked like a tree trunk. And then I snapped back. However, after my pregnancy with Elena, that is when a lot of my body changes happened, because I ate a lot and I put on so much weight. For me personally, I put on quite a bit of weight. It was a few months after me and my husband got married that I can see that I was at my biggest. Looking back at the photos from that holiday, I can see that that is when I was at my biggest, and that wasn't just because of pregnancy as well. Yes, I put weight on during my pregnancy with Elena, but then after that, I don't know whether or not I kept putting it on, or whether or not I just hadn't been able to shift it. But at that point, after that pregnancy, I had then gone up to being between a 16 and an 18, which has been the biggest that I have been. Now, I managed to go down, and I couldn't even tell you how. I didn't do any weight loss programs. I didn't do anything aside from run around looking after 2 kids. But I managed to get down to a medium to big 14, sometimes a 16, depending on clothes, before I was pregnant with my twins. And then from that, then my body changed entirely again in regards to things, and stretch marks came in new places with the pregnancy of Elena as well as the twins. I noticed stretch marks from Elena on the back of my legs, on my arms, and some of the fine stretch marks that I had got on my boobs after Adriana had become a lot more prominent with my other pregnancies as well. My chest is another thing that has changed after pregnancy. I didn't have much of a chest before Adriana at all. And then obviously my boobs did get bigger with pregnancy, and then I breastfed AD, and all of those changes happened to my chest. And then outside of pregnancy and breastfeeding, they have deflated a bit. Now, after having my pregnancies and being able to breastfeed my children for the small amount of time that I was able to for each of them, my boobs have stayed at about a C. The only time they do get bigger from that is when I have been pregnant. They now do sag, but I personally don't feel like they sag that bad. All these jokes that I hear about people saying, oh, their boobs go down to their knees. In all fairness, I think that's mums being harsh on their boobs. I get that they do sag, and I get that when you don't wear a bra, they look very deflated. And they look, well, in all fairness, mine to me just remind me of a kind of teardrop rolling down a wall. That's honestly how my boobs without a bra, that is the image I get in my head. But I think that women saying that their boobs then hang down to their knees, that might be where some of the issues are coming from, that they're not feeling good about their boobs. I don't know how to help tackle that one. My boobs aren't necessarily big, which I think is where I'm okay with my boobs. And I'm okay with my chest, either with a bra or without one. I'm guessing that if you have a larger chest and you don't wear a bra, this is where that comment might end up coming more into effect, and without a bra definitely could affect your body image and your self-esteem. My hips are something that have changed within pregnancy as well, but this change I actually don't mind, because my hips widening and getting broader hips, but my waist has kind of stayed the same. It stayed that small size. Now, I don't know if you could tell, but I do have a little bit of an hourglass figure. Now, that is one thing that I am thankful for my pregnancies for. I didn't have any type of body image aside from a stick before I was pregnant. I didn't. I really didn't. But now, thanks to my pregnancies, I have a shape. I have curves, I have a silhouette. And even if I'm not able to look in the mirror and like what I see, because I can see all the rolls and I can see all of the flab and I can see all of this, somehow, looking at my shadow, looking at my silhouette, and just standing there and seeing that it's just smooth lines in the silhouette, that actually is very much something that I do like doing, and I'm very much looking forward to summer coming back so that I can do that some more. One other thing that pregnancy itself does to my body is that, along with thickening my hair, it has thickened my nails. Now, I know people that when they aren't pregnant and their bodies sort themselves out, then they say that their nails have gotten weaker since then. However, I find that to be completely the opposite. My nails just seem to keep getting tougher and tougher, and the only way that they seem to grow is when I will pick them, which I'm terrible for anyway, and I am just terrible for my nails. I have non-existent nails at all. The last thing that I want to say that has changed with my body is more to do with the inside of my body than the outside. It's to do with my brain and how I can concentrate on things. But this is where it's going to be, this is where it's been a thinking point for me, because I have ADHD. My brain is wired that little bit differently to people's anyway, and I've been trying to think how pregnancy affects my ADHD and my brain, the way it processes things, as aside from when it doesn't. And for me personally, it has actually been rather hard to try and distinguish between how my brain goes when it's having a moment, is how we phrase it in my house, when mum's brain is off on one and having a moment, as opposed to what can be classed as baby brain. Because there have been studies that have said that once you have been pregnant and you have had a baby and you've had that flood of hormones that go through you, that it can take 7 years plus for your brain to sort itself out. So for those 7 years, you can still effectively have what has been dubbed baby brain. So I don't know what is and is not anymore in regards to my brain and how I process things, because this has been how my brain has been for 7 years. And I have had 7 pregnancies during that time, which I have ended up with 4 beautiful children from. So and as I said, my brain before pregnancy wasn't that brilliant. It was my ADHD brain, it was my roller coaster brain, it was my all over the place brain. Seriously, it felt like sometimes I'd had 3 puzzles jumbled up into one bag and I'm trying to make one puzzle from 3 puzzles and it's just not working. And I can feel right now that talking about this, that my brain is kind of already spiralling off on one anyway. So, but that is an entirely different subject. So I am going to end this video here. So they were the main ways that my body has changed post-pregnancy. Some ways, as I said, I am really happy with how my body has changed. I may not always be happy with it and things like this, but at the end of the day, my body has given me 4 beautiful children. So this is what I need to remember with it. I also want to thank you all so much for your comments for the first video. It is super appreciated, and please talk to me down in the comment below. How would you say that your body has changed post-pregnancy? Are some of the things that have happened to me the same as what has happened to your body? Thank you guys so much for this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up for me. I would super appreciate the support. If you are visiting my channel from one of the other ladies that are taking part in this collab, please hit the subscribe button. I would love it if you stuck around. I post 2 videos a week and they cover a range of topics. And again, thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you next time. Bye everybody.